Have you ever caught yourself falling for someone just after a few conversations or a shared glance? Do you find yourself emotionally invested before you've even had the chance to fully understand who the person is? If so, you're not alone. Falling in love quickly is more common than most people think, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're naive or reckless. In fact, there are deep-rooted emotional, psychological, and even biological explanations for why some people are more predisposed to forming romantic attachments easily and intensely. In today's video, we're going to explore 10 insightful reasons why you may fall in love so easily. Each reason reveals something meaningful about your emotional wiring, your inner needs, and how your life experiences have shaped the way you relate to others. By the end of this video, you'll gain not just awareness, but also a new sense of clarity around how love works in your life, and what you can do to navigate it more mindfully. Let's begin. Reason 1. You are deeply empathetic and emotionally in tune. Empathy is the bridge that allows you to truly feel what someone else is experiencing. If you fall in love easily, it's likely that you're highly empathetic. You don't just observe someone's emotions from the outside, you internalize them. Their happiness excites you, their pain touches you, and their vulnerability draws you closer. This kind of deep emotional attunement makes it easier to form quick bonds. You sense emotional subtleties others might miss. When someone opens up, you don't just listen, you connect. This can create a strong illusion of closeness and even destiny, leading to feelings of love before a deeper foundation has formed. While empathy is a powerful trait, it's important to distinguish between emotional connection and romantic compatibility. Being able to feel deeply doesn't always mean someone is the right person for you. Reason 2. You tend to idealize others quickly. One of the most common patterns among people who fall in love quickly is the tendency to see potential rather than reality. When you meet someone who shows even a few qualities you value, like intelligence, warmth, or ambition, you may start building an idealized version of them in your mind. You see their best sides and sometimes project additional traits onto them. You imagine who they could be rather than who they truly are. This can create a sense of infatuation that feels a lot like love, but is actually rooted more in hope and imagination than reality. Idealization speeds up emotional attachment, but it also sets the stage for disappointment when the real person doesn't match the fantasy you've created. Developing self-awareness around this habit can help you keep your feelings grounded in reality. Reason 3. You crave emotional intensity and deep connection. Some people are simply built for depth. You don't want surface-level interactions. You want passion, fire, and vulnerability. You want to experience the highs and lows of love, to be swept up in something larger than yourself. Emotional intensity becomes your measuring stick for whether a relationship feels meaningful. This craving for intensity often leads you to mistake strong feelings for strong compatibility. You may interpret emotional spikes, like excitement, nervousness, or even jealousy, as signs of love. In truth, intensity can be triggered by unpredictability, novelty, or unresolved emotional needs. Real love, while it may begin with intensity, tends to grow through consistency, trust, and mutual care over time. Learning to value emotional depth rather than just emotional height can change how and when you fall in love. Reason 4. You have an inner desire to be loved and validated. Everyone wants to feel loved, but for some, this desire runs deeper due to past experiences of rejection, abandonment, or emotional deprivation. If you've ever felt unseen, unappreciated, or emotionally starved in your life, particularly in childhood, your subconscious may be searching for validation through romantic connection. When someone gives you attention or affection, it feels like finally being chosen, finally being good enough. That feeling can be intoxicating, leading you to confuse validation with love. You're not falling in love with the person, you're falling in love with the way they make you feel about yourself. This emotional vulnerability doesn't make you weak, but it does require conscious reflection. Ask yourself, do I love them or do I love being loved by them? That distinction is critical. Reason 5. You are a hopeful romantic who believes in love's magic. Some people approach love with a sense of awe and wonder. If you're a natural romantic, you probably believe in the idea of soulmates, serendipitous meetings, and life-changing connections. When you meet someone who shares a spark with you, your mind immediately starts weaving possibilities. a shared future, inside jokes, mutual adventures. This tendency isn't inherently bad. In fact, it keeps your heart open and your spirit optimistic. But it can also make you susceptible to falling too fast, seeing more meaning in situations than actually exists. Hopeful romantics are dreamers at heart. They're not interested in casual or emotionless interactions. The key is to anchor that hope in reality, to balance your heart's openness with your mind's wisdom. Reason 6. You are comfortable with vulnerability and emotional exposure. One often overlooked reason for falling in love easily is that you are simply not afraid of vulnerability. In a world where many people build walls to protect themselves, you might be someone who leads with openness and authenticity. You're willing to risk your heart, to share your thoughts, fears, and hopes, even with someone you've just met. This openness allows intimacy to develop faster. You go beyond small talk and touch on the meaningful aspects of life quickly. That can create a sense of connection that feels like love. But while vulnerability is a strength, it must be paired with discernment. Not everyone who hears your truth will honor it, and not every connection that feels real will stand the test of time. Being open is powerful, but protecting your heart while you open it is equally important. Reason 7. You mistake surface-level compatibility for deep connection. Falling in love easily can also come from confusing convenience or similarity with true compatibility. You meet someone who likes the same music, eats the same food, or shares your favorite TV shows. These commonalities are comforting, and they create a sense of belonging. But they don't necessarily translate to long-term harmony. True compatibility includes how you handle conflict, communicate under pressure, align on values, and support each other through growth. When you fall in love quickly based on superficial alignment, you may overlook these deeper dimensions. Recognizing that shared tastes aren't the same as shared values can help you evaluate relationships more thoroughly and protect your heart in the long run. Reason 8. You are motivated by the fantasy of love, not the reality. Fantasy is seductive. It's easy to fall in love with what someone represents, the idea of love, the escape from loneliness, the symbol of a better life. When you meet someone who triggers that fantasy, your imagination takes over. You start seeing your future together, imagining conversations, travels, shared milestones. It all feels so real, so close, so right. But love isn't a movie script. It's a series of shared experiences, mutual growth, and honest communication. If you're someone who falls in love quickly, ask yourself whether you're connecting with the person or with the story you've created around them. Bringing yourself back to the present moment and seeing things as they are, not as you hope they'll be, is essential to building meaningful connections. Reason 9. You have an anxious attachment style. Attachment theory explains a lot about how we bond with others. If you have an anxious attachment style, you're likely to form attachments quickly because of a deep-seated fear of abandonment or rejection. You may seek closeness and reassurance constantly, and any sign of interest from another person feels incredibly validating. This can make you prone to falling for someone even if they've only shown minimal investment. You might interpret a text, a compliment, or a shared secret as a sign of deeper emotional commitment. Anxiously attached individuals often fall in love easily, not because of who the other person is, but because the relationship temporarily soothes their internal anxiety. Understanding your attachment style can help you slow down the pace of your emotional investment and evaluate whether the relationship is truly mutual and healthy. Reason 10. You have a deep yearning for connection and meaning. At the core of it all, people who fall in love easily are often those who are most hungry for connection. You're not afraid to feel, you're not afraid to risk. You want your life to be filled with meaning, with closeness, with stories that matter. And so, when someone walks into your life who awakens that yearning, you respond with openness, curiosity, and a full heart. This trait, while sometimes misunderstood, is a beautiful one. It means you're not numb to the world. It means you're capable of deep emotional presence. The challenge is ensuring that your desire for connection doesn't override your need for emotional safety and discernment. Love is a journey, not just of the heart, but of awareness. And the more you understand why you love the way you do, the more power you have to shape your romantic experiences intentionally. Falling in love easily is not a flaw. It is a reflection of your emotional depth, your hopefulness, your history, and your humanity. The key is not to harden your heart or become cynical, It's to become more aware. When you understand the reasons behind your emotional patterns, you don't have to be a prisoner to them. You can make choices that honor your feelings while also protecting your peace. So the next time you feel yourself falling, pause. Not to stop yourself from feeling, but to make sure you're feeling clearly. Ask yourself, what do I see in this person? Am I responding to their essence or to my own longing? Is this love or the beginning of learning something about myself? Your heart is not too open. Your love is not too much. But your love, like all beautiful things, deserves direction. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more thoughtful explorations into love, psychology, and self-discovery. And let us know in the comments, why do you think you fall in love so easily? We'd love to hear your story.